Hi, I'm Sonia Choquette, and I'm about to have a conversation with Robyn.
Hi, and welcome to Conversations with Robyn. On today's program, we have Sonia Choquette, and amongst many things, Sonia is an international intuitive teacher, guide, and author. Please welcome Sonia.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
It's a pleasure.
It is so great to have you with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are so welcome. Before we find out what you do and your journey, how would you introduce what you do?
Well, it is a little awkward because what I do isn't common, and there's not even necessarily a word in our language that fully encompasses what I do. Mm-hmm. But I've coined a word. I've actually trademarked a word. I'm a sixth sensory. And a sixth sensory is someone who, among other things, I am very articulate in my intuitive abilities, not just for myself, but for others. I am also very effective in teaching people, as well as using the skills of manifestation. So I can teach people how to create effectively. Because I have learned how to use energy efficiently, and what I do is teach others how to use energy efficiently. I change vibration, I raise vibration, and I help people flow more smoothly with life. It helps them become healthier, less stressed, more creative, more joyful, more peaceful. So there's a whole constellation of shifts that happen when you go from being a five sensory person to a six sensory person. And my mission in life is to teach people how to walk across that bridge.
And you've had an amazing journey, haven't you, to get to where you are with your mission in life?
Well, I have. I've basically, a lot of people ask me, when did you first realize you were intuitive or psychic? Mm-hmm. And I never realized it per se, but I did realize when I started school that what was perfectly obvious and apparent to me and normal in my home, my family, was not shared by those that I went to school with. And as I got a little further into school, I was shocked to realize that what I considered my natural and most important gifts, other people perceived as weird or unnatural or unholy. And so it really threw me for a spin early on and actually made me angry. And so I've devoted the earlier part of my life to studying and learning about why people became separated from our natural, most important instincts. I mean, we are born with six senses, not five. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, I've been doing this for 35 years. So fortunately, science is catching up with what I know. And so now it is actually acknowledged scientifically that we have six senses. And the new question is no longer does it exist. The new question, and the one I've devoted myself to answering, is how does it work? I teach people how it works and get it working for them. Can
you describe it? I mean, obviously we've got enough time to go more in depth, but just in a nutshell, can you describe how it works?
Well, sure. We have a spirit that basically gives us consciousness in life. What serves our spirit, Einstein said it really well, the intuitive spirit is a sacred gift. The rational mind, its faithful servant. But unfortunately, most people have thrown away the gift and have become enslaved to the servant. So what I do is I remind people that the intuitive spirit is your gift, it's your essence, it's who you really are, it's your authentic voice. It lives in the heart. It reverberates out and gets your attention through your emotions, through your senses, through your sensory awareness. You experience it as vibration because it's actually energy communicating. It's not one size fits all. Some of us feel that vibration in our heart. Some of us feel it in our throat. Some of us feel it like a rumbling in our gut. Some of us feel it like the hair on your arm standing up or the back of your neck, but we all feel it some way. And that vibration or that energy, if you pay attention to it, brings information. It will warn you, it will alert you, it will bring your attention to opportunity, it will encourage you or discourage you based on the nature of the conditions around you, and inform you about life in a more accurate way than just your five senses can. This is your spirit. So to activate this sixth sense, the first thing that has to occur is you have to begin to understand that you are spirit. And as spirit, you're not confined to any finite place or any temporary personality. You have access to all the energy of the universe. And some of my peers in the realm of quantum physics explains that really well, but I'm not a quantum physicist, so I just basically say, as spirit, we have access to all that is of the spirit world. And it's a matter of first acknowledging that you're spirit, and then secondly, cultivating a conversation with your spirit, cultivating an awareness of your spirit. And the first thing I ask people when I teach with them is I ask them, where does your spirit live? Do you know?
And where do most people say?
Well, universally, and I've been around the world, they'll go to their heart.
Mm-hmm.
My spirit lives in my heart, and that's accurate.
It's an automatic instinct, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
We are naturally hardwired to be conscious in the heart. And science has actually proven that we have neural ganglion that go to the brain and also to the heart, and actually to the gut as well, that give us information. And then I'll say, and where does your spirit move? And that's confusing for people.
Where does it move?
In your hips. You make your decisions in your hips. This is
the
where
solar plexus?
Right. This
Yeah,
is where
yeah.
you'll either move with your vibration, move with your gut, move with your instincts, or not. You might. The alternative, and what most people do, unfortunately, is they'll go up to their head and become frozen. And the minute you're in your head, you've lost connection to your spirit, and you've lost your ability to be fully and authentically informed. So I teach people to get back to your spirit and take care of your spirit. You know, you can tell if someone's spirit is left. Do you know how you can tell?
I was listening to a Wayne Dyer tape this morning. He was talking about that.
You can tell. I can tell
How do you
immediately
tell?
by the light in your eyes.
Yeah, that's what he said.
If there's no light in your eyes, your spirit's gone. And a lot of people definitely push their spirit out and get stuck in their ego and control, and their lives just become a series of managing their fears. And they've lost all their capacity to be creative or responsive or intuitive or spontaneous, and they've lost all their capacity to be joyful.
Well, just on that, because what he was talking about, he said if someone has like a huge shock, a huge loss, someone dying, and they feel shattered, it's like their spirit, their soul, their heart's being shattered, and their soul leaves the body.
Temporarily.
That's what he's saying, temporarily, but you can tell by looking
In the eyes.
Yeah.
Now, there's really simple ways to wake up your spirit.
Okay.
One of them, and the most obvious one, is to breathe. Do you know that most people don't breathe?
Yeah.
And there's a way to breathe. There's a specific way to breathe to activate your spirit, which is to breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth and let out the sound, ah. To do that, you open up the chimney to the heart. Ah, this is where we lose where we become muted. This is where we lose our intuition. Most people have still a pretty strong sense of intuition, but they choke it off and they don't express it. So, changes your vibration right away and centers you back in your heart. And that works. Another thing to do is to sing. You can't be in your head and sing at the same time.
Yeah.
Singing is a faculty of the heart, of the spirit. So even if you sing something like "Row, row, row your boat," it'll get you out of your head.
Yeah.
It'll get you out of your head, and so that's another tool. Another tool that will get you back into your spirit is to move. When you're in your intellect or in your head, you freeze.
Yeah, it's been
You
stuck.
stop breathing, you stop moving. And it's interesting to me how many people don't want to move. They lose touch with movement, but your spirit is fire. And fire moves.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And we're going to get back to that because we're going to take a break and we'll come back and hear a lot more from Sonia. Stay with us.